Can the champs go back to back? Today, we take a look at the 2023 Kansas City Chiefs schedule, make predictions. I'm really high on them. You know, they got 15 at quarterback, so they probably going to be in the thick of things when it all comes down to it. But week one, when they put their banner up versus the Detroit Lions, I think it's going to be a shootout, but I do think the Chiefs are going to win. Detroit, they got to work out the kinks. They got some new defensive players, so I think Pat and Andy, they going to exploit that. And then after 10 days, I was torn on this one, going back and forth. I was like, Jacksonville might beat them. They played them last year in the playoffs. But after like a 10-day, that's like a mini bye for Andy Reid. I ain't going to lie, the Chiefs going to win that one as well. The Jags are going to be a viable team, though. And then everybody's so high on Justin Fields and the Bears. I'm not really big on them, so I think the Chiefs are going to beat them. And then week 4 is their first loss at Jets. I do think Aaron Rodgers and the Jets are going to be pretty good this year. And then week 5 at Minnesota. Vikings, they just don't do it for me, so I'm just going to say it's like one of the primetime slots. And you know Kirk Cousins, he really not too good in primetime slots. So, yeah. And then week 6 on a short week, they have Denver coming to their house. So they're going to beat that. They're going to win. They're going to beat the Broncos. And then week 7, after another 10-day stretch, it's like the schedule maker just favored them, like for sure. Like another 10-day break, they gonna get a little rest and they gonna beat the Chargers, and then they play Broncos again at the Broncos house. And this time I think the Broncos is gonna be the first career loss for the versus the Broncos for Patrick Mahomes. I think Sean Payton and Russell, after they get a little feel for him on that Thursday night, then they get a look. But then they come back week 9. I think Tyreek Hill on the Dolphins want to beat them bad, so I do think the Dolphins are gonna beat them. It's like in Germany, so it's not at Arrow Field or in Miami, so it's at like a neutral. So as long as the turf good, Tyreek Hill, he gonna blaze. And then the good teams always get a late bye, so they have a week 10 bye. Week 11, they come out the bye versus the Eagles. I was thinking the Eagles was gonna beat them this time, but I don't think so because Andy Reid off the bye is pretty good, so he gonna beat them. And then they have the Raiders at the Raiders. And to be honest, the Raiders, they kind of tanking. I think they trying to get one of the top quarterbacks coming out in the draft, so they're not going to be too good. Then week 13 at Green Bay. Come on, Patrick Mahomes versus Jordan Love. They play this. His actually first start was versus them, but I don't think he going to have enough to beat the Chiefs, so the Chiefs going to win that one. Week 14, I was definitely torn. I was saying the Bills was going to beat them. And I do think the Bills are going to beat them. I think the Bills are going to beat them because they don't just have a lot of great offensive weapons, but the Bills do have a good defense. And then week 15, they get back to the good graces and beat the Patriots. Patriots just don't have enough offensive firepower to go toe-to-toe with the Chiefs. And then week 16, they going to sweep the Raiders. The Raiders ain't nothing too much. Put that W. That's it. Next. Week 17, I do think Pat Mahomes is tired of saying the Burrow and the Bengals own him and all that. So, yeah, they going to beat them. I got them beating the Bengals. And then week 18, I do have them losing to the Chargers because Justin Herbert, he be playing the Chiefs real good. It's just the coach sometimes make mistakes. And I do think Kellen Moore being more of like a great offensive guru, Brandon Staley can focus on being a head coach and more defensive because I really, that's what he really want to do. And they do end off with a 12-5 record. And, man, we rolling. We on to the next team.